everyone. My name is Shanice Williams, and today we'll be doing a lesson plan on order operation. I'm so excited about this lesson plan because order operation is still in today's society is getting confused, and people still getting these problems wrong because they're missing a step or they going out of the step. They're not following the pandas process. And today I'm gonna teach y'all how to work order operation problem by step the correct way. So here we have our lesson plan. Our lesson today is Order of Operation by Shanice Williams. Credit goes to Alex, education.com, teachology.com, youtube.com. The grade level is 5th grade. Our overview, student will be able to use each step of Panda to solve each equation. Primary learner objective, use parentheses, brackets, or brace in numerical expression and evaluate expression with these symbols. Additional learner objective, reinforcement of multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction, exponent, and parentheses. Also, improvement of critical thinking skills. The time of this lesson plan is 20 to 25 minutes. Our material and equipment, whiteboard, marker, Pandas worksheet, order of operation Panda, example problems of order operation, and calculator. Technology resource, no technology required to solve these equations, though internet and computers is required for YouTube song. Background and preparation, students should be able to solve parentheses, exponent equations. Students should also be able to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Here we just have our procedure activity. This just shows me going over each step by step. Here we have our order operation Panda sheet. This sheet just give us the definition, well, not definition, but it give us the order that we must work out order operation problems, and it give us our favorite Pandas line. I explain that in a minute. Here we have example problems of order operation. We have a simple problem and we have 2 additional problems along with our order operation sheet with the parentheses and exponent. I got this worksheet off of teachology.com. It didn't come with the answer. I just googled some order operation problems to work through with you guys. And here down here we have the link to our YouTube song that we will hear at the end of the video. So let's start back over here with our order operation Panda sheet. And it reads, parentheses, first, when working order operation problem, we must perform operations within the parentheses. So anytime we have a problem that provide parentheses, we must work inside that parentheses first. Exponent is second. We perform operation with exponent. So if we get a problem with parentheses and exponent, of course we're going to do what's inside the parentheses. Then we must do the exponent. We must simplify the exponent. Next step is, which is our 3rd step, is perform all multiplication and division operation from left to right. That simply means if we have an equation that have multiplication and division, it doesn't matter which one comes first. We will work the problem left to right. Addition and subtraction. Lastly, we must perform all addition and subtract operation from left to right. It's no add first, then subtract, or subtract first, then add. Is whatever comes first from left to right. Here we have our favorite Pandas line. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. This is a way that you can remember the steps of order operation. And if you just cover up the rest of the letters, you see that it is PANDA, which is our parentheses, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, and subtract. You can create your own acronym for PANDA or for order operation. I always use Please Excuse My Dear Aunt Sally because it was always easy to remember. If you feel like you need to find another acronym that will help you better understand order operation, you can do that. If not, you can follow mine. Well, not mine, but the one that I always was taught. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And I say that because it's easy to remember and it's kind of catchy and you catch on to it quickly. Here we have problems I just created because the worksheet from the order operation with parentheses and exponent didn't have two parentheses. So because I want to show you how you would work a problem with two parentheses. And of course I have a sampler problem right here. I'm gonna my first problem I'm gonna show you how you can easily mistakenly get the wrong answer by going out of order. So I'm gonna work this problem the correct way, and I'm gonna work it the incorrect way so that you see that your answer does not come out the same. So first I'm gonna start by working this first sample problem. And that problem reads, open parentheses, 5 times 5 plus 4. So first I'm going to do this problem the correct way. So if we follow our order operation PANDA sheet, it tells us we must do what's inside the parentheses first, which is our whole problem. Our whole problem is parentheses, so of course we know we're going to work inside the parentheses. We have no exponents in this equation, so we don't worry about that step. The next step is we must perform all multiplication and division problems. So here we have multiplication. We have no division, but we do have multiplication. And that multiplication is 5 times 5. So we just, in our calculator, if you don't know it, we put in 5 times 5. And 5 times 5 is 25. So we just put our parentheses back in there, 25 plus, and we're going to bring our plus sign and our 4 down. And now our problem reads 25 plus 4. And 25 plus 4 is 29. And 29 is our answer. This is the correct way to work the problem, and this is our correct answer. So here I'm going to write up correct answer. Now I'm going to work this problem again, and I'm going to show you that I'm going to do it the incorrect way and show you that you don't get the same answer. So instead of me multiplying 5 times 5, I'm going to add 5 plus 4. And 5 plus 4 is 9. And I'm just going to bring my 5 and my multiplication sign down. And now my problem reads 5 times 9. And 5 times 9 is 45. And our correct answer is 29. You see that doing it the incorrect way and the correct way, you do not get the same answer. So that's why it's very important that you work these order operation problems using PANDA way. That way you know you get the correct answer and you don't get the incorrect answer, because it's very easy to get these problems confused and get the wrong answer. That's why you must always follow you must follow these steps in the correct order that Panda tells you. So now I'm gonna work our problems. And here is our problems. I'm gonna start with this worksheet, order operation with parentheses and exponent. So our first problem, we have, our first problem reads, open parentheses, 5 to the third power plus 7 times 4. So we probably have to get our calculator out for this. So following order operation Panda, it tells us we must perform any operation within the parentheses. So we know we're going to work this problem here. 5 to the third power plus 7. Next is tell us we must perform operation with exponent. Here we have an exponent, 5 to the third power. All we have to do is simplify that, and you can easily put in your calculator 5 to the third power, or you can just do 5 times 5 times 5, 5 times 5 times 5 3 times, because it's to the third power, and we get 125. We bring out our plus sign and our 7, put that back in our parentheses, bring down that time and that 4. We still have a parentheses, so we still must work what's inside our parentheses. So 25 plus 7 is 132. We just bring our times down and our 4 down. And our problem now reads 132 times 4. And we just put in the calculator 132 times 4. And we get 528. And that's our answer for that problem. And let's go to our next problem. Our next problem reads, open parentheses, 3 to the second power minus 6 divided by 3, close parentheses, times 8. If we go by order operation Panda sheet, we know we must perform anything within the parentheses first. So we know we're going to work this problem, this part of the problem first. Second, we must perform with operation with exponent. So we know we're going to simplify this. So 3 to the second power, we just put that in the calculator and we get 9. So now our problems read 9 minus 6 divided by 3, close parentheses, times 8. We just bring all that down. So now, we still in our parentheses. We still have a parenthesis, so we must still continue to work inside this parenthesis. Next step is multiplication and division. Here we have division. We don't have multiplication, but we have division. So we just simply divide 6 divided by 3. They give us 2. So we just bring that down. Bring the 9 and the minus signs down. Times 8. We still have equation inside our parentheses, so we must continue to work inside our parentheses. And we just simply 9 subtract 2, which is 7. And we just bring down our multiplication sign and our 8. And 7 times 8, if you need to, you can put it in your calculator. And we get 56. And our answer is 56. Our next problem. Our next problem is open parentheses 1 times 3 times 5. So here we just got multiplication inside of parentheses, and we know we must perform any operation within the parentheses, and we know our whole problem was inside the parentheses, so we know we're going to work inside our parentheses. Next step is exponent. We have no exponent. The next step after that is multiplication and division. We have no division. We do have multiplication. So we just simply multiply left to right. So first we're going to multiply 1 times 3. They give us 3. Bring down our multiplication sign and our 5. We're still inside our parentheses. And we just simply multiply 3 times 5. And 3 times 5 is 15. And 15 is our answer. Let's move on to our next problem. Our next problem reads, open parentheses, 8 times 2 to the second power, close parentheses, plus 3. So now we have 8 times 2 to the second power in parentheses plus 3. So we know our first step. We know by now our first step is perform operation within the parentheses. So we know we're going to work inside this parentheses. Next step is to perform operation with exponents. So we're going to simplify this 2 to the second power. We know 2 to the second power is 4. So we just write our 4 out. Bring our 8 and multiplication sign. Bring out our plus sign and our 3. So now we have 8 times 4 plus 3. And we have our 8 times 4 in parentheses. So we still have a parenthesis, so we're going to continue to work inside that parentheses. So we do 8 times 4. We know 8 times 4 is 32. We bring our plus sign and bring down our 3. And now we have 32 plus 3. And we know 32 plus 3 is 35. And 35 is our answer. Our next problem is 4 plus 5 to the second power minus 2. And if we follow our order operation sheet, it tells us to perform operations in parentheses. Since our whole problem in parentheses, we know we're going to work inside the parentheses. Our next step is to perform operation with exponent. So we're going to simplify 5 to the second power. And we know 5 to the second power is 25. So we just bring down our 4 plus 25 minus 2. And we have all this in parentheses. Next step is multiplication and division. We have none in this equation, so we go to our next step, addition and subtraction. And it tells us to perform all addition and subtraction operation from left to right. So we're just going to work this problem left to right. So we do 4 plus 25, and that gives us 29 minus 2. And 29 minus 2 is 27. And 27 is our answer. Now, let's go to our last two problems that I created. And number 4 reads 6 to the second power times open parentheses 6 minus 4. And going by our order operation Panda sheet, it tells us to perform all operation within the parentheses. So we know we're going to work inside this parentheses first. And inside the parentheses, read 6 minus 4. And we know 6 minus 4 is 2. So we write 2, and we just bring our 6 to the second power down and our multiplication sign down next. Our next step is perform all operation with exponent. Now we're just going to simplify our 6 to the second power. And 6 to the second power is 36. And just bring our multiplication sign and our 2. And we know we don't know 36 times 2 by heart, so we just get our calculator and do 36 times 2. And we get 72. And 72 is our answer. Now, let's go to our last and final equation. And that equation reads, open parentheses, 9 times 2 minus 4, close parentheses, plus, open parentheses, 3 to the second power minus 2, close parentheses. So here we have two parentheses. So we know our first step in order operation Panda, we must work within inside the parentheses. And since we have 2, we're gonna work these parentheses from left to right. So from left to right, the first one will be the first parentheses we work inside. So let's start with this one. 9 times 2 minus 4. Our next step tells us to perform our operation with the exponent. We have none in this parentheses, so we go to our next step. And our next step tells us to perform our operation and division operation from left to right. So now we multiply 9 times 2. We know 9 times 2 is 18. 18 minus 4. And we just bring down the rest of our problem. Now we just simply just subtract 18 minus 4. We get 14. And we just bring the rest of our problem down. Now, since we're done with this parentheses, we're going to go to our next parentheses because that's our first step in order operation. Next, it tells us to perform our operation with exponents. So, we're just going to simplify this 3 to the second power. We know 3 to the second power is 9. So, bring our 14 down. Plus 9 minus 2. We still have our parentheses, so we just simply subtract 9, subtract 2. And we know 9 subtract 2 is 7. And now our problem reads 14 plus 7. And 14 plus 7 is 21. And 21 is our answer. And that's how you work your order operation problems using your Panda. Now I'm going to show you a video off YouTube. It's a order operation song. It's very helpful if you ever need something to look back on to help you get through order operation problems and equations.
Tells you which to use. You gotta use your Pandas when you feel confused.
So that's So that's the song of the Panda song with lesson of order operation. If you ever want to look back on that in our lesson plan, I have the link to the YouTube song. And in conclusion, order operation is simply working a problem, following each step by step. You just want to make sure you're following these steps in the right order, so that you don't get the incorrect answer. And that wraps up our lesson plan today. Thank you.